So we're joined right now by Miss Kristi Nome, and first of all, how you doing? How's the campaign going?
Oh, we're doing good. We've got a lot of excitement and momentum. Everybody realizes that we're in the last days of this campaign, so there's a lot. Everybody on the street is talking about this election.
Okay. Now, starting off with kind of a tough question.
Sure.
Historically, agriculture, a huge component in the state's economy. Looking through your website and knowing that you come from the farming and ranching community, why is there not a lot of, agriculture, farming stuff on your site?
Well, it is on the policy side, and it certainly is in my biography where you can see that I've spent my life in agriculture, but we do discuss it on there, and then we also have discussed it quite a bit on Facebook, too, with different policy issues. So, obviously, everybody who knows me and has followed my life knows I've been a farmer and rancher for most of my life for the last 20 years with my family, and then invested in the ethanol industry as well, and I really believe that it is one of the things that's extremely important to South Dakota. It's our #1 industry, and it's one of the reasons that South Dakota's weathered this recession so well.
Okay, and then kind of going on the same subject of agriculture a little bit, the Farm Bill. Big, big topic. What are your thoughts on that if you're elected? What are some of the stuff that you would like to see changed or added or kept in there?
Well, the next Congresswoman will have the opportunity to work on our next Farm Bill. So it is important that we know what the plans and goals are that everybody would like to see in that Farm Bill. Being a farmer and rancher and visiting with them all across the state, I think everyone is looking for more risk management programs. We go out and see farmers and ranchers take such a risk every spring to put dollars in the ground, hoping that there's something there to come back and pick up that fall. So people have a lot of questions about the direct payment system. A lot of question about all the different programs they can participate in, and I think what we really need to do is sit down and talk about going towards risk management practices and programs rather than just direct payments.
Okay, and kind of a little bit different topic here. I know you've been in the state legislature for the past, 4 years now? 4? Yeah, 4.
Yep, the last 4 years.
Okay, so the last couple, I know we've had a lot of, the state's kind of been balanced, the budget balanced with some of the stimulus funds and stuff, and I know that you've come out and said that kind of address the fact that Ms. Herseth Sandlin voted for that.
Yep.
And you're kind of against that, the stimulus, right?
Yes, if I had been in Congress when that was voted on, I wouldn't have voted for it or supported it. I didn't think it was the right answer for how to stimulate our economy and create jobs across our state.
Okay, so then what about helping balance the state budget with those stimulus funds? What were your views and peer on that?
Well, frankly, the federal government and the administration and the House that passed it tied our hands. They said, we asked those questions, if we choose not to take these stimulus dollars and reject them, what will happen? Will they go to pay down our country's debt? And the answer was no. You either take the money or we'll send it to states like California or Massachusetts and they'll get it. So as a leadership team, we made a decision that was best for the people in South Dakota. We took the stimulus dollars, we applied them to fill in our budget to make sure that we didn't have to use our reserves or raise taxes on people in South Dakota in this tough recession. So it was tough because we didn't think it was the right way to spend taxpayer dollars across this country, that we didn't feel like it was going to have the impact that the administration was saying. But when asked if we could not take those and not spend those dollars, the answer was no. You either take them or they will go to the other states.
Okay, that is a good answer then. And I know you've had a strong ad campaign running, a lot of them attacking, well, not really attacking, it's the wrong word, but addressing Stephanie Herseth Sandlin. And where you also have another opponent, and I know earlier you said the Congresswoman. Has your campaign kind of ruled out your other opponents?
No, we haven't. In fact, last night we had a debate, and the night before a debate with him as well. And so, no, we've been focused on both of the opponents. Obviously, when you look at statistics and running against an incumbent, a lot of times they have quite an advantage just because they've been there and they have some resources from special interests that are coming in and playing in the state. So I truly believe that there's two candidates that are running really strong in a really close race right now. All of the polls and public opinion straw ballots that have been out there have had us two running pretty close. So I think that's where the tight race is going to be. Okay. When you look at this race, it comes down to Election Day. I think that it's going to come out to who has the excitement and momentum and who shows up to actually place their ballots.
Okay, and with this next, the session opening up in a couple of months, what do you think is going to be basically the main topic or the main two topics of concern once that opens up?
Well, it depends on who the people elect. If they elect new people to go out there, I think you'll expect to see a real desire to balance our federal budget. You'll see a real desire to stop the spending that's been going on. I think people across this country are very alarmed with the fact that we have increased our spending by 21% in the last 2 years. That's 6 times the rate of inflation, and it's not sustainable. So I think if you see a lot of people that are new out there that have run businesses like I have and been involved in having budgets and knowing what it's like to adhere to them, you'll see some more determination to get that done, to make wise decisions. If you see a lot of the incumbents go back, I think you'll see a lot of what you've seen the last 2 years, which has been increased spending, record-setting deficit amounts coming upon our country. I think you'll see the continued bureaucracy and overwhelming regulations that are coming and hindering our businesses. You know, I think a lot of people across the state really recognize that 70% of our jobs in this country are created by businesses that employ less than 20 people. And they're all sitting on their hands waiting for the government to stop picking winners and losers. They want some certainty. They want to know that they're going to keep taxes low and they're going to have the opportunity to go out and reinvest in their businesses and hire more workers.
Okay, and maybe there's somebody sitting out there on the fence or still kind of trying to make their minds up. How would you best state your case? How would you best represent yourself as to why you should be elected?
Well, I would tell them that the title that I'm running for is representative of South Dakota, that I would be their voice in Washington, D.C. When I look for people to support, to represent me, I want to know that they know what I feel like and what I'm going through. You know, I grew up here in South Dakota. I'm raising my kids here. They go to the public school systems. I run businesses here. None of that will change if they choose to elect me to be their representative. And I think that's what South Dakotans are looking for. They see that Washington is broken. They know that, I know that, and they want somebody who has some common sense, that knows when you pass legislation like has been passed the last couple of years, that knows how we feel back in South Dakota, and I certainly do. So I would just tell them what I believe. I believe in a small, limited government, free enterprise, I believe in personal responsibility, that we need to keep our taxes low to encourage business and industry here in the state. South Dakota is rated number one for business, and that's because we've had those priorities here in the state. Our federal government could take some lessons from what we've done here in South Dakota, and I'd like to go and get to work on that.
Okay, any final thoughts, Dad? Those were the only questions that I had for you today.
No, I just want to encourage everybody to go vote. This is an extremely important election. We're electing policymakers that will be impacting, you know, our country for the next couple of decades. It really is a critical time in our country. I'd encourage them to, everywhere that they go, talk to people. Talk to them on the street, in the grocery store line, at schools, and visit with them about the importance of Tuesday's election and make sure they show up and place their ballots.
Okay.